We can either embrace the fact that we struggle with challenges to our faith, or we can pretend like good Christians never question. Hanging on to faith is a really hard thing to do, especially when you're trying to safeguard it from all those scary things, instead of trying to incorporate that questioning into the core of your faith. But if we want these deep faith roots, we are going to have to start confronting those scary, scary things that we just love to sweep under the rug because we're so afraid of what would happen if we dared say them out loud. So I called Caitlin up, and we talked, and we struggled together, and it was good. And I don't think we ever came up with a concrete, solution to this jolt to our faith, but we came up with some ideas, and, we're running with them. Speaking of running, would you like that segue? I'm a poet. It's unbelievable. I don't like to use the word hate a lot. I think it's a strong word, and it's strong emotion, exhausting emotion, so I try not to use it a lot. But I hate running. I do. Now before you guys judge me, I tried to like running, okay? I even took a running class in college. Granted, I did not know it was a running class when I registered for it. It was called conditioning. So I had all these illusions of grandeur, I imagine, like great weight training and circuit training and yoga and Pilates and swimming and spin class and all these different ways to condition your body, only to show up on the first day and find out that my professor was a soccer coach and we were just going to be running around a track for a semester. But I didn't drop the class, so that is what counts. So I've tried to like running. Caitlin and Dad run all the time. And I was exceedingly grateful when my sister started to run with my dad because it meant that I didn't have to anymore. And before my family gets all snippy, I'm not going to lie and say that I ran with my dad a lot. Because lying in church is usually frowned upon, much less when you're giving the sermon. But we'll say that I ran with my dad like a handful of times, okay? And every time he would convince me to run with him, he would promise me, Whitney will go your pace. We'll walk and run whenever you want to, but I will go your pace. And he would, for 3 blocks. And then he would get bored, so he would start to run sideways next to me. And he would start to run backwards. And then he would just leave me in the dust, run to the end of the block, and wait for me while he touched his knees to his hands. Yeah. I'll tell you, there's nothing that made me want to about face and run in the other direction more than running towards that. But he would try to encourage me by talking to me like I was a dog. Come on, Whitney. I think this image is very applicable to how we can sometimes treat others outside of church who are struggling just as much as we pretend we're not. I went to my first annual conference with Mike and Linda and Ginger a little over a month ago. And one of the lady sessions, they said something that shocked the hairspray right off my head. She said, the fastest growing denomination is no one. Not one denomination of Christianity is growing. That, my friends, is scary. The world is weird and changing and growing around us. Fewer and fewer people are choosing their faith based on what their parents were. And fewer people are saying, well, I'm a Lutheran because, it's the closest church, and it was either that or the Catholic Church down the road. We have every world religion available to us at the click of a button. By tomorrow morning, I could have 10 different books on Buddhism sitting on my doorstep thanks to Amazon.com. So what can we, as Methodists, as Christians, offer to these people who have a smorgasbord of spiritual options in front of them? What about authenticity instead of sugarcoating? What about someone to walk with instead of someone running ahead and saying, hey, you, lost one, come on, because we've got the answers, so come on over. embrace the fact that we're all still walking. We need to struggle. We need to question, and it can't be taboo anymore. We need to get real with each other. I don't know the answers. Neither do you. And I think we all look for the right way and expect to find the right way, but I think the moments we think we've got it all figured out, those are the moments that we are underestimating God the most. But good, deep, true faith is not a place you get to. It's not a destination. It is a journey that we are all supposed to take together. So thank God for those sucker punches to your faith. It is because of those shocks that we have the opportunity to receive the word and understand and to grow, instead of receiving the word with superficial superiority. So church, it's time to get real. To get real, to face your fear, and to reach our hand out to our neighbors and say, let's take a walk. Amen.
Amen.